Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Divine Stronghold Divinations, with me, Diane G. I was being called to pull some cards for the collective. And the first three cards that popped out were Root Chakra, I Love, and Bus. So right away, with Root Chakra and I Love, I'm getting your chakras are out of whack. There's no alignment, especially for your root chakra and your heart chakra. And with bus, spiritually, a bus symbolizes your life path. You get on the bus, you take a seat, and you go from one place to the next. You take many stops, depending on other people on the bus, other people in your life. And you realize that you were taking a back seat to your life. You weren't happy. You weren't healing. You weren't taking control of the steering wheel for your own destiny. And with bus being in brown, brown means home protection, animal stability, family, material goods. So, because your root chakra and your heart chakra are out of whack, they're not in alignment, you love material goods. You favor material goods. And you realize that you always wanted bigger and better. You realized nothing was ever good enough. You realized that even though you were content with what car you had, what job you had, or what lover you had, you still wanted bigger and better. You still wanted more. And that's because your chakras weren't aligned. So you could have the perfect job, the perfect car, and the perfect wife or husband, but you still felt like nothing was ever enough. Nothing was ever good enough for you. And that's because your chakras weren't aligned. And you tend to go with the flow with what other people have, like keeping up with the Joneses. And that's why you had stability, but your mindset and your happiness wasn't stable. You always felt uncertain. And it's because of the choices you chose by always wanting bigger and better. It caused chaos inside of you internally, even if your outside world seemed and looked perfect. And you're realizing that it's because the conditioning you had as a child. You saw your parents acting this way. You thought keeping up with the Joneses was the way to be. You always felt the need to have better than everybody else because your parents brought you up that way. They were that way. They had to keep up with the Joneses. If someone got a new car, they had to get a better car. If someone got remarried and had a better spouse, they had to do the same. And that's because their chakras weren't aligned. And you had an awakening about this, realizing that you always wanted bigger and better. And the awakening made you take the action to heal yourself. It's not a crime to want bigger and better, but to consistently do it and keep thinking that even if you're content with what you have, you want more. That's because you need to heal yourself internally. That's showing you that something inside of you needs to be fixed, needs to be healed. And you're on the way to having a karmic completion. You're on the way to have success after this healing journey. And healing isn't from one point to the next, a final destination. No, healing is a process. It's a spiral. No matter if you feel you've healed something, later down in your life, something will arise and it will show you that you didn't heal it completely. And you will slowly realize you're healing it more and more the more you live on. And you don't want to be like how your family was. You don't want a foundation built on striving for perfection because you realize nothing is perfect. You wanted to change that mindset. You wanted to raise your kids better than you were raised. And you being aware of that showed you that it starts with you. You have to change that negative mindset. You have to stop doubting yourself. You have to stop wanting more even when you have everything you need. And you realize that that's the way to not feel lonely. That's the way to not be trapped in your head. That's the way to not be negative. And you doing that will help you get fulfillment, will help you achieve what your heart and soul truly desires. And there will be moments arising where you will feel trapped, you will feel stuck in your head, and you will overthink. But those fears only arise so you can heal those things. You will learn tools to navigate your life whenever anything negative arises. Like if you're overthinking, maybe you need to spend time to yourself. Maybe you need to process what's making you overthink. And you reflecting on these things is you starting your shadow work, you going into hermit energy, you going into solitude, helping you communicate to the divine on a deeper level, helping you communicate what you truly want and need. And you giving yourself this self-care will give you energy, because you being in a negative mindset all the time will have you depleted, have you needing to cleanse more and more, which everyone should have a cleansing ritual weekly, because you come in contact with a lot of things that changes your energy, and you have to cleanse those things so you can keep your body aligned. And the more you do these things, you will get messages in your dreams. You will get your spirit guides showing you signs wherever you go, whether it's a flower, an animal, a shape in the clouds. You will see the signs and they will help you on your way. And the more you do this, the more you will realize this healing journey was always fated to happen. Yes, there will be detours, like feeling trapped and having people bring negativity into your life, but you will have the tools to stay on your divine path. And you will see the sun shining, and it will help you achieve whatever you want. You will find the strength, you will have the empowerment you need, and it shows heart chakra opening, so your chakras will align effortlessly. The more you process the negativity and heal your past, you will find happiness. And you will have the tools to not worry about toxic things, not worry about things like material goods, because you'll be content with what you have. And you will know that money isn't everything. As long as you have what you need and you're content, you will realize that you don't need to keep up with the Joneses. You don't need to worry about that. And whenever you feel fear, or other people around you feel this anxiety, you will have the tools to help them. Especially when it comes to toxic third parties. karmic partners, friends, families, co-workers, neighbors, etc. You will be able to have the tools to deal with those kinds of toxicity. You will have the tools to help others around you to achieve the path of enlightenment that you're achieving. And I know this was weird, but the divine wanted me to get this message out. So whoever this is resonating for, know that our healing journey starts with us. Once we heal our past and once we align our souls and our bodies, life is a piece of cake. It is an up and down roller coaster ride, but that's the joy of life. If everything was just a straight line, it would be boring and stagnant. So, collective, whoever this is resonating for, I hope it helps.